Good morning, sunflowers. It's Alinda here with Sacred Space Trauma Recovery Coaching. And I just wanted to get on this morning, and because it's such a special weekend, and I just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. And there are so many of you men out there who don't get the recognition that you deserve. There are lots of challenges of being a man in today's world. And I just don't think that you fellas get to hear that enough. And those of you who are really rocking it as dads, you deserve lots of kudos and lots of support and lots of loving from the rest of us in your communities and in your neighborhoods and in our culture. And so I just wanted to start by saying thank you. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for understanding that support isn't just about money and occasional visits. Support is about being there, being present, loving on your children, teaching them everything you know, all the things that they need from you as a father. Thank you. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about some struggles that many of us have, and how Father's Day weekend isn't easy for every one of us. I grew up in a home with an alcoholic father. He did get sober, and we had a lot of years to make amends, and I'm just eternally grateful for that. And he passed away over 12 years ago. And so I kind of have bittersweetness on Father's Day. And then I'm also divorced, so I miss helping my children celebrate their father. But that's not quite the same thing as what I want to talk about today, and that is that some of you had completely absent fathers, no real role model in that area. And thank goodness a lot of you had great moms and grandmoms and granddads and aunts and uncles who stepped in, and God bless all of you. And then there are others of you who unfortunately suffered trauma at the hands of your fathers. And I just want to talk to you for a minute about that, especially today. And I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay if this weekend is tough. It's okay if it brings up feelings or memories, or sometimes we can have memories that aren't what we think of as memories. They're feeling memories, where our body suddenly feels things that it felt many years ago, and can be some perplexing kinds of things going on. Trauma shows up many years later in some confusing ways if you don't really know a lot about trauma. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm doing what I'm doing, is that I'm here to teach people about the trauma and what it has done to them, and then to help normalize for you guys who've been through things, to help you understand that a lot of the things you're going through that seem unusual or crazy or weird are really normal trauma responses. And today I wanted to talk to you about this idea of reparenting. And I don't want to get too long-winded on this, but you know, with me, most of us have heard of this idea of the inner child. And that's just the child that's inside you at whatever stage of growth that might be. My anchor trauma was when I was 6 years old. So I talk a lot with 6-year-old Alinda. But we have what some of us in the community call our littles. And littles are the inner child inside you at various stages. I have 3-month-old Alinda. I have 13-year-old Alinda. Of course, I have 6-year-old Alinda, who was first sexually abused by a family member. And we have all those littles and varying trauma at varying stages. And the thing is that you have to love yourself, and you have to love your littles through this weekend and through every day. And it can be hard if you've been traumatized, if you've been abused, if you've been sexually assaulted, if you've been neglected, if you've been convinced that you were worthless, if you have been tortured, if you have been through spiritual abuse, if you've been abandoned. And sadly, we do have fathers or biological fathers in that term. They don't really count as fathers. I understand you feel that way, a lot of you. But we do have that. And so for those of you who just can't get into this whole Father's Day thing, amen. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to. And the fact that you recognize that something is off can actually benefit you, because at some point it may signal to you that, hey, maybe I need to talk to someone about this. And as in the mental health community, there's a process called reparenting. And therapists use it sometimes, but it's different with therapists. There's some controversy over it. With a therapist, it's more the therapist will take on a role of a parent with you. But in coaching, and I don't mean to speak out of turn, because there may be some therapists who do what I do in coaching, but as a coach, because everything is client-led, it would never be my task to try to reparent you, but rather my task to teach you and to guide you and to listen to your stories, help you figure out what needs weren't met, what needs were met, so we can celebrate the good things and really get a sense of where you are today as a result of the trauma that you experienced at the hands of your biological father, or it could be stepfather, any father, anyone, a parenting figure. And there is a process where we can take you through what's called reparenting, but it's really about you talking with all your littles, meeting them, getting to know them, and examining what their needs were. And then you devising a plan or a way, some strategies that you can start to nurture those little wounded pieces. And it can happen, and it is real, and it has worked for me, and I do it with my clients. And I just want you to know that help is available, even if this doesn't sound like your kind of approach. There are many, many other things that trauma recovery coaching can do for you. And so with that in mind, again, I also want to celebrate you, those of you who've been through the harshness of destructive parenting by a father. I want to celebrate you, because whatever you did to stay alive, whatever coping mechanism you chose, and some of us have made some unhealthy choices, myself included, just to get through it. But I still applaud you, because you're alive. You're sitting here and you're watching me today. And I am so proud of you for that. You are a survivor already. And if you decide that you're ready to go that next step and not just survive, but really live and really heal some pieces of you that you know are stopping you from really experiencing the joy you deserve, then please consider giving me a call. I will put my business number down in the comments, and I also will put some resources for reparenting for those of you who maybe can't afford services. There are a lot of excellent books out there that I encourage you to read. And like I said, I'll put my business number and my email address down there. And anyone who contacts me, either through Facebook, if you just mention that you saw this video and you contact me before the end of the day on Monday, that would be midnight. That was midnight the 14th, starting the 15th. So that's Monday evening, not the 15th. That was last week, the 22nd, Tuesday. Like the minute Tuesday, the 22nd strikes, then the clock stops there. But anyone who contacts me in the meantime, your first session with me will be free. We'll do some exploring, and then you can sign up for 6 sessions at a discounted rate of 10% if you mention this video. But again, my main goal this morning is to just love on you, whether you're out there being just a superstar father, or whether you're at home feeling unable to even think about fatherhood and what it's meant to you and what you've missed out on and everything in between. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. It can be a beautiful life, and I would love, absolutely love, to hold space for you to explore the ways that you can heal. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful weekend and a beautiful Father's Day. Thank you.